Am I live? I think I'm live. I am live. I'm really sorry about this, guys. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just so frustrating. So frustrating. Because this is a fantastic race, and I reckon I might have missed some stuff here, because Speed was catching Nath Clark. We will keep an eye on it. I'll try and get everything sorted as soon as we get back into the race. Here we go. Let's see telemetry, lap data, minimap, detail, tyres, please. There we go. Okay, that gap has increased. So Nath Clark is taking advantage of those medium tyres. And NER Ayrton is up to P3 now. So he's on the podium. And we do have the initial top three is restored as Rick and Ace's battle as well further back. They're side by side. Those softs are really losing out. And I think Ayrton might have made the right decision here. He's catching Speed at a rate of knots. Those softs are really going to be struggling as Rick and Ace is still side by side they go through that left-hander. Aces is going to have the DRS, I think. Yes, he is. No DRS for Rick. So Aces is going to have that P4 pretty easily. Coming down the straight. Scott's down to P6. He's got Trugster just behind him. But Ayrton is catching Speed now very quickly indeed. But remember, he's got that 3-second penalty for track limits. So I think the best he can do is P3 today. It's astonishing that he's even managed to get to P3. He's really benefited from that safety car, but to be fair, so has Speed Alcoholic. So, you know, it's not all... it's not all luck for Ayrton here. There's some luck for Speed as well as we enter the last few laps of this race. 5 laps to go as Trugster gets his way past Scott, who is now under huge pressure from Lostock as well. Down the inside goes the Aston Martin, and the McLaren really struggling here. Scott down to P8 now. Yeah, just unable to cope with the pace of those cars behind, but still doing very decently down there in P8. No mistakes from him as well so far that I've seen. I haven't seen him spin at all today, and he's been very much on the pace, so good to see. Ayrton now within 2 seconds of Speed, but that gap has started not coming down as much, so I think Ayrton's tyres are starting to go as well. Aces is about 4 seconds back, so that 3-second penalty is not going to end up mattering for Ayrton, I don't think, in the end. Yeah, he can count his lucky stars for that safety car. It's really brought him back into this. But Nath Clark, he is unmoved by all of the chaos that's happened. He has just driven his best race. And just been unchallenged really so far today. That gap is now coming down again between Ayrton and Speed, but whether it's going to come down enough is another story. 4 laps to go. Trugster right behind Rick, who's struggling on those really old medium tyres. The Alfa Romeo trying to make it to the end. And he will make it to the end, but those tyres are going to be absolutely screaming in these last few laps. He's going to struggle to keep those cars behind. Got more yellow flags. I think that's Moti Perez that's gone for a spin. That's unlucky for him. Down to P12 he goes. Van's racing in P11, a long way back. He must have made a mistake as well. Vardy's in P10. And we got Avi trying to make the move on Scott as well, who is shipping positions left, right and centre. I'll keep an eye on Trugster as well, because he's right behind Rick. I think that overtake's going to be made, but look at the ERS difference. Rick's got some, Trugster doesn't. So it's not over yet, even if Trugster makes the move here. Rick round the outside, brilliant late braking from the Dutchman. Fantastic stuff from him. Retakes P5, brilliant driving from the Alfa Romeo. Scott gets himself a 3-second time penalty. He'll be gutted with that actually, because he could have made another position on Trugster if it weren't for that. Although Trugster has 5 seconds, doesn't he? So all is not lost quite yet. Trugster's going to have the DRS again, but yet again, he's got no ERS in the tank. Rick moves to defend, but I don't think it's going to work. Or is it? Yes, they're still side by side, and Rick has the inside, and he's going to keep that place. Trugster just doesn't have the energy left in the tank to make this move happen. Despite having the far superior tyres, just unable to make any sort of headway on Rick because he's used all of that battery. Meanwhile, Ayrton is already within a second of speed, and he's right behind the AlphaTauri. I think there's going to be a move made here, but as I said, the Dane has that 3-second penalty, so Ayrton needs to make this move and then make up 3 seconds on Speed Alcoholic, which is not an easy thing to do by any means. Here he comes. Here comes the Ferrari. Round the outside he goes. Speed Alcoholic's going to keep his foot in, but he's got no ERS left. Down the inside goes the South African. Ayrton leaves him just enough room. They're still side by side, but Ayrton has made the move. Speed trying to cut back and take the position back, but I think he made a mistake. Bit of oversteer there as he came out. Those softs really starting to scream at the end, and I think Ayrton might be able to do this actually. He's got 2 laps to build 1.5 seconds on Speed Alcoholic, and he's done that already just a few laps ago, so it's not over yet. Ayrton could still get this P2, which would be, I mean, how he's recovered from this. Very lucky safety car, of course, but it's still a wonderful recovery from him when all looked lost. After Speed made such a good move, set of moves after the safety car came in to get himself so high up, and Ayrton has just said, that doesn't matter. That does not matter, because I can just easily retake that position and build up the gap again. So we will keep an eye on that. We've got more yellow flags as Trugster still trying to get past Rick. The Alfa Romeo is standing firm on those 18 lap old medium tyres with 2 laps to go. I think Trugster's gonna... No, sorry, I thought that was the straight, so he's not going to make the move yet, but Rick very wide there, and here's an opportunity for Trugster maybe, as Rick's going to have a poor line through this corner, and slingshots onto the straight goes Trugster, but he's made a mistake. Too much throttle there as he came through, and Speed is already 4.5 seconds down. There must have been a mistake from the AlphaTauri, and so that should be P2 secured for Ayrton. But here comes Trugster round the outside. Is Rick going to go for it again? No, he's going to stick behind the AlphaTauri now. He recognises Trugster has a penalty. He does not need to make this overtake. Just needs to stick behind for now. And make sure he stays within 5 seconds, but he's also got to watch out for Lostock behind, because now he will have the DRS from Trugster though, so that will help him in his defence from the Aston Martin. More yellow flags. That's Avi who's gone for another spin in the Mercedes. It's not been a good day for Mercedes, as Rick now down the inside up towards the hairpin he goes. That's a great move from the Dutchman. Trugster unable to defend there as we go on to the final lap. Speed Alcoholic, those 11 lap old softs have really slowed him down. He's 7 seconds now behind Ayrton already, and he will finish P3 unless he gets overtaken by aces before the end, but that really would be something. But he will be disappointed with that, considering the gap that he had made after the safety car restart. He'll be very disappointed not to have finished ahead of Ayrton today, as who's that going extremely wide? It was Trugster, as he loses the position to Lostock as a result, and he could be vulnerable to Scott on the straight. No, not quite, as Scott has no ERS either. No one's got any ERS, it seems, in these latter stages. There's Lostock up into P6. This is great news for Rick, because he can just steer clear of all these guys battling behind him, and it should be a top 5 finish for the Dutchman, which I'm sure he'll be very pleased with today. Trugster trying to stay on board with Lostock. Could be a move into the final part of this race, but Nath Clark, what a drive from him. It's his 2nd win from 2 this season. Nath Clark wins the Miami Grand Prix. Brilliant drive again from him. Ayrton in P2 somehow. Speed Alcoholic will be finishing P3, but he'll be disappointed with that. I think he could really have gotten P2 today. Aces, well, he will definitely feel he could have gotten P2 today. Aces in P4, very good drive from him. Nearly got P3 at the end, one more lap and he would have had speed. Rick in a very respectable P5. Lostock finishes P6. Scott finishes P7 after Trugster's penalty. Vardy in P9. Avi a lonely P10 after some mistakes today from the Mercedes driver and his teammate retiring as well. It has been a really, really bad day for Mercedes. Vans Racing coming home in P11 in the Haas. Fairly lonely day for him as well, as was for Moti Perez. He had a few battles today, but some mistakes at the end have cost him, and he comes home in P12. And there we go. There is your Miami Grand Prix. Again, I'm so sorry for all of the crashes and different streams that I've had to put up. There's really nothing I can do about it. I will look into getting OBS next week so that my stream, at least my stream, doesn't cut out when this happens, because that's really annoying for me and for you guys. So I will look into that for next week. Because it must be, it's crashed again, so